It's such a pleasure for me to introduce you and for you to learn about calligraphy from Rachel. We've been knowing each other on Instagram, of all places, I think for 2 years or something like that, isn't it? Or
Yeah.
more or less 1 year or something like this. We've been following each other. And I admired your work a lot, and I can't wait to actually work with you. And once I have an event and I'm hired for it, I know who to call. But yes, I invited you on today to talk to me about calligraphy and how does calligraphy add more meaning to events and more authentic expression of ourselves, because that's what events is all about. So first of all, let me ask you a bit about yourself. Tell me a bit about your journey to become a calligrapher, and what does it mean for you, and the type of calligraphy you do, because I heard there are many types and I didn't even know. So yeah, Rachel.
Hey, well, thank you for having me, Nora. It's a real pleasure to be here with you. So my journey, gosh, my background is in fashion as a designer and buyer, and then have my family. And then I was sort of called, I had a big birthday, and I was just in my head said, you've got to go and learn calligraphy. I thought, wow, what? You've got to go and learn calligraphy. So I hunted down a calligrapher who taught me about 10 years ago, and that was it. It just took off. Something happened and it just took off.
Mm.
And I started teaching and doing calligraphy for events, and then moved on to Instagram and Facebook. And that's how it all started. But for me, calligraphy means a great deal because it really connects you to your purpose, to your heart center. And you cannot do calligraphy unless you're completely centered and grounded. And to bring some beauty into this world, because calligraphy is from the Greek term calligraphy, as in beautiful writing. Okay. And it has a completely different energy to something that is printed. It's very, very beautiful. And you're getting a bit of that person who's writing. You're getting something that's completely authentic, original, and beautiful. And I think that is so special. And I've never ever had a time when somebody hasn't gone, oh, as I'm writing or teaching, go, wow. And they just completely go quiet and just a gasp. And that would be for anybody, not just for me, if you're going to see a clip. So there's something very, very special about it. And there was this upsurgence of calligraphy about 8 years ago when modern calligraphy came into the fore. And people were really coming to my workshops, really wanting to learn to do calligraphy and to write, because its essence of it's just pen, ink, and paper. Okay, so we're not dealing with computers, we're not dealing with an awful lot of money to begin with. It's just pen, ink, and paper, and a pencil. Really simple. It's core stuff. It's sort of hundreds and thousands of years old that you're learning, you see, and that is what is so special about it.
It reminds me of meditation.
Yes.
Because I suppose you can't think of anything else while you're doing it.
No, you have to be really quiet, really
Quiet.
centered, and you have to get yourself in a really good space. You cannot just do calligraphy if you've got loads of other things going on. So you have to be very centered, you have to have a good calm space, and you have to keep yourself very grounded as well.
That's how I feel when I talk to you, because your voice is very calm and your energy is very grounded, so you can feel it even through Zoom. Because you have to, a hectic person, I think a very hectic and up in the clouds or not grounded would be like.
Yes, and you see that. I mean, there's a thing on these reels on Instagram. So there's this false sort of look about calligraphy that everything is fast and quick and dense. And you see the quality of the work is lacking as well because it's on, we've got to get the business, do. But calligraphy is slow, it's centered, it's quiet, it's thoughtful, it's very considered.
So how many years did you practice?
Oh, I mean, you do practice when people
All the time.
yeah, I mean, my practice every day I practice, I do like a practice when it's breathing, because calligraphy is actually all about breathing. So when you're creating your strokes, you're breathing in and out with the strokes that you're doing. So it's actually all about breathing.
Isn't that fascinating?
So breathing, yeah, and it's the first thing we do in life, and the last thing we do in life is our
Yeah.
breath. Okay, it's actually all about breathing to create the work.
Yeah, it's like an expression of your breathing through calligraphy.
And
Expression of yourself, probably a core of yourself.
so when somebody receives your work, they're having something that you've given out with your heart and soul. Yes. So much more different to something that's been printed, that's mechanically done, that somebody just go over, get it done, get the money, and that's it. It's totally lacking in any kind of heart and soul. Which
Well,
is
let's talk about that now that you brought up the printer.
yeah. So that's why it's so important to me, because you're giving an expression of yourself in what you're creating.
Yeah. I suppose in this fast world that we live in, and everyone is chasing deadlines and not, I think calligraphy, it kind of gives you that pause that you need. We all need to pause.
Yes.
Dear Lord Jesus.
Yes, you know, whatever, however you find it, whatever you do, whether it's yoga but if you get called to calligraphy, go and find yourself a calligrapher. Go and you know, if you've got an event, go and find a good calligrapher who you can work with, who will sit down with you, who will write in front of you, who will talk to you about, you know, what's going on in your event, and get deep into what's going on. It's not just writing. It's just so not about the writing.
The writing, yeah. The writing is probably the last bit.
Yes, that's the end result. That's the end result. But you're getting so much within that expression of writing. There's so much in it. There's so much energy that it holds. Okay.
Yeah, I can see this totally. Maybe I'm thinking, for example, for a wedding, if you would do calligraphy, it would offer that kind of pause in the madness of all of that you organize a place. It always comes with a long to-do list, an event like that. But I could see calligraphy something that is grounding and bringing everyone to the present and to the moment.
Yes, and stop.
Stop, yeah, stops in this.
Look,
Yeah.
and absorb. And then on some level, they'll be receiving some of my energy.
Yes. Yeah.
And you know, even like at a wedding on a tablescape, you know, you've got beautiful flowers that have grown from the earth, okay?
Yes.
And you've got printed name places, okay? There's printed name places, a place for them, and budget. But you've got something that's beautifully written that ties in with the flowers, or, you know, it just makes such a difference to your tablescape or your menus. And if budget doesn't, you know, allow, maybe you can have some of your menu printed, then you can write like appetizer in calligraphy, you know, main course, dessert. So there are ways around things. If you want to calligraphy, but the budget is there, you know, find a calligrapher who will work with you, who can help you and work with, you know, your dreams and what you want, what's your vision, because any good calligrapher will help you to achieve that, who will work with you, who'll get deep into, like yourself, the way you work. You want to get deep into the event. This is the person. What do you want?
Yes. What's behind all of this? Yeah.
How can I help you to bring the best for your event?
That's perfect. That sounds to me just what we need in our lives. A bit of deeper level work. Whenever we express ourselves externally, especially in this day and age where everything is all very wishy-washy, because it becomes like that when you work with computers and inanimate things. you don't see the soul of the person, the authentic thing, because it's so much washed out, and calligraphy brings out that unique bit of yourself.
Yes.
Because though you're doing it, you're working with the person and you're actually absorbing some of their thing into yourself and then take it out. So
Yes.
it's
Yeah, it's only going to be a good outcome, Nora.
yeah,
It's
that's the
only
only
going to
way.
be a good outcome.
Yeah.
Because you're working at a really good energy level.
Mm.
You know, it's very hard to work with somebody who doesn't really care. It's like manual, it's, you know, a machine thing. You got your card and they're just black and white. And how can anybody be that happy when they've got a wedding and they've got their table and it's white and it's printed black? You know, it's blunt. It's like, okay, it's a statement.
Yeah.
What about something that's really beautifully written?
Yes.
That's just got complete, because it will turn around the event, how people feel in your event.
Yeah, I totally agree. So what kind of events do you actually help with?
Sorry, events.
What kind of events do you help with?
Oh,
What kind
there's
of clients do you
weddings,
have?
of course, there's weddings, birthday parties, people who want wrapping paper. I had a client who wanted some wrapping paper, bespoke wrapping paper written. So I did all that, and that went to the Virgin Islands. Anything really, you know, it's just people, but it's at the end of somebody's sort of, like, they've got the venue, as I said, the wedding, and you know, the venue and the flowers and the dress and everything, and then the calligraphy comes at the bottom, kind of thing. And what we need to do is get the calligraphy up there and think, yeah, calligraphy is important. I want something really beautifully written that's going to really uplift this event. You know, I want it to look amazing. And calligraphy will do that. Hand on side. And of course, I am biased because I'm a calligrapher, okay? But I couldn't do it unless I felt absolutely 110% behind it. So I couldn't do the work.
Yes. I think then this is what I find in the event industry, that people focus a lot on this practical bits, like as you said, the venue, the caterer, the dress, the whatnot. They jump very quickly to that without actually putting the basics and very clear goals of the event. Sometimes I find it, and I can sense that calligraphy, it's actually something that clarifies the goal, the essence of you, so then everything else can follow. Actually, calligraphy could be the first step that you do, and then you look for a venue, and not, because it's quite of inner work with you. And always the inner work is something that we leave at the end, or we don't do it at all.
It's like as if it's not important. It's not
important, you know.
An add-on kind of thing. Yeah. And it's really sad because it's so special. And I think whether people are short of time or they're just not quite sure, but all I can suggest is go. There are calligraphers everywhere. Just go and find them out and find the right one, the right person who you can work with, and that may take a bit of time. But we are out there to help the client to have the best outcome possible.
What do you think is the qualities that a good calligrapher shows, and how can people who don't know a lot about it would what to look for out there? Because if there are so many, you go like, okay, which one?
Okay,
what do we look for?
You will know. You will
energetically
know that person is right for you, and I can only say that from my experience.
Okay.
I've done things and not right, done it, and it's just gone pear-shaped. You will know, and that's a hard thing to say because it's not physical. It's like it's not black and white. You can't see it. But if only we could get in touch with ourselves and and know. You will know. Like you, Nora, loads of calligraphers on Instagram, but you kindly invited me to come and chat to you. Because you will know. Meet the right person. Yes, I could say, well, experience. What are they doing on Instagram? Look at examples of their work. Are they friendly? Are they nearby? Can you go and talk to them? All those physical things. Okay. And we can do that. I mean, I can work with somebody who's like got loads. I worked with, when I was learning calligraphy, I went and tried to learn from somebody who's really good experience, really good calligrapher, really great. But it just didn't work. It just didn't, because it wasn't, when you meet the right person.
Yeah. I mean, our body definitely knows, and our gut probably knows. It's just we need to listen to it.
Yes.
A bit more.
And honestly, when somebody comes and sees me, we just sit down and I talk. I say, and we'll know, and you just know. And that's such a hard thing for so many people, because everybody's so busy, got 101 things going on in their heads. And if they could only just tune out a bit and just think, is this person the right person for me? Is this venue the right place for me?
Yeah.
Will she do? And that is such a hard thing. But I say, all the time, is this the right thing? Is that dress the right thing for me? Does it fit? Does it make me feel 110%? Or is it I'm just compromising? Yeah, it's okay, but I'll do.
Yeah.
And those days of, will do, are just fading. Everything is changing now. And you will know. There are so many calligraphers out there. You'll know the right person.
I like that. I like that very much, that to trust.
Yeah.
They will know.
Because you've got to go inside and just trust. And I know when somebody picks up the phone and asks me, and they're just asking me all the physical questions, and I'll say to my husband, no, I'm not the right person for her. Person comes in, it's like, I'd love to come and see you. I've seen your work, it's great. Can I come and see you, at least talk to you? I don't charge anything for somebody to come and sit with me, and I'll write their name for them and spend, an hour, whatever, and talk to them and discuss them, because it's important. It's their day. It's the biggest day of their lives, whatever it is, whether it's a funeral, event, wedding, birthday party, whatever it is. And it can be for 10 people, or it could be hundreds of people. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
As a calligrapher, you have a responsibility. You have a responsibility to provide the best you can in the most centered and most beautiful way. That is your responsibility as a calligrapher.
I think that is a responsibility for any human, no matter what you do, isn't that?
Yes.
I think that's the beauty of it, that no matter what we do, is in the best way, the most centered.
Yes.
And heart-led, I think this, and we need it desperately.
Yeah.
More of this.
Yes, heart-centered work. And that's where things are going.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I could continue talking to you because it's very mellow. I see myself, I'm getting more like, but we'll have to stop at one point. One question before, because you said there are many types of calligraphy.
Yes.
Tell me, which one do you do? And
so I do copper plate, mainly copper plate. That's 16th century script based from the Netherlands. And so it's really old, hundreds of years old. And that's that's my script. And I do modern calligraphy as well, which is based on copper plate. And that's just a bit more whimsical, looser sort of feeling to the letters. So it just depends. I mean, there's italics, there's all sorts of different scripts. Those are the two that I tend to do. Yeah.
Well, I know where to find you, and I know the beauties that you create. And
Thank
it's
you.
just a pleasure to the eye and soul to watch them.
Oh, thank you.
So I'm really, really happy that you are alive and kicking in this world, and you bring your energy and your beauty into it. We
Oh,
desperately need it.
thank you.
And I know there are no coincidences for meeting you, even on media of all places. And it was an absolute pleasure to listen to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.